A fresh perspective on Monica Lewinsky's story shows us how humiliation culture has evolved into modern-day cancel culture of imperfect women. I'm Yoonj Kim, and this is MTV News Need to Know. On Tuesday, FX's impeachment American Crime Story premiered, giving the Bill Clinton-Monica Lewinsky affair its due cultural reconsideration. And not only for Monica, who was a producer on the project, but for the other women who got swept up in the scandal. What made Monica's experience culture shifting was that she was perhaps the first person to be humiliated globally on the internet with no road to redemption, or as we call it today, canceled. And while public views of her vary from a consenting adult in an affair with a married man to a young woman taken advantage of by a world leader, the fact is that she was a 22-year-old intern who struggled to get work for a decade after the scandal. Her life was forever altered. Meanwhile, President Clinton, at 49, did not face nearly the same level of public ridicule, though the affair's consequences included an impeachment. And after years of therapy and staying out of the public eye, in 2014, Lewinsky wrote about the culture of internet shaming and Vanity Fair. The ease, the speed, and the distance that our electronic devices afford us can also make us colder, more glib, and less concerned about the consequences of our pranks and prejudice. Having lived humiliation in the most intimate possible way, I marvel at how willingly we have all signed on to this new way of being. And it wasn't just Monica whose life became a tabloid punchline. Linda Tripp, Lewinsky's confidant, and Paula Jones, a woman who accused Clinton of sexual harassment, both suffered as well due to the male-dominated entertainment and news industry. Jones was mocked by male reporters at CPAC, and Tripp was fat-shamed on Saturday Night Live by male actor John Goodman. At the time, even self-proclaimed feminists voiced problematic views. In 1998, The Observer ran a piece where prominent women discussed the scandal, including how they too would f the president, and speculation on intimate details. As prominent feminist writers Susan Shellog and Erica Jong commented, Shellog, the question for me is, did Monica swallow or did she spit out? Jong, oh, imagine swallowing the presidential cum. It's important to remember that men in the male gaze largely controlled this narrative, and ultimately the media has always struggled to cover imperfect women, whether they were caught up in affairs like Monica Lewinsky, viewed as partygoers like Britney Spears, Paris Hilton, and Lindsay Lohan, or even trying to succeed in a male-dominated field as a girl boss, like Away and Reformation CEOs Steph Curry and Yael Aflalo. Both these women were accused of fostering toxic work environments, which should not be condoned. But the online backlash makes these problematic situations substantially worse and leaves no room for nuance or even sometimes investigation. The same thing that happened to Monica. As writer Molly Jong-Fast noted, the fact that she has come out of this hellscape seemingly intact as a human being does not mean that we don't owe her. We owe it to her and to ourselves as people who write about women to look back at the many mistakes we made in the 1990s and apologize to her. Look, people are always gonna f up, but we still haven't learned the difference between criticism and bullying. And it's exacerbated by prejudice and internet culture. Without a nuanced understanding of how to toe this line, we are doomed to repeat the cycle of Monica Lewinsky, even as our understanding of taboo behaviors and the role of women evolves. I'm Yoonj Kim, and that's what you need to know.